युहन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। किं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि भृताः सत्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। We have done up to 13, so we'll start from verse 9. यत्प्रीत्या प्रीतिपात्रम् तनुयुवति तनूजार्थमुख्यम् सतस्मात् प्रेयानात्माथ शोकास्पदम् इतरदतः प्रेतत्कथम् स्यात्। भार्याद्यम् जीवितार्थी वितरति च वपुः स्वात्मनः श्रेयैच्छन् तस्मादात्मानमेव प्रियमधिकमुपासीत विद्वान्न चान्यत्। यस्माद्यावत् सुखम् स्याद् इह हि विषयतः तावदस्मिन् प्रियत्वम् यावद्दुःखम् च यस्मात् भवति खलु तथा तावदेवाप्रियत्वम्। नैकस्मिन् सर्वकालेऽप्युभयमपि कदाप्यप्रियोऽपि प्रियः स्यात्। प्रेयानप्यप्रियो वा सततमपि ततः प्रेय आत्माख्यवस्तु। श्रेयः प्रेयश्च लोके द्विविधमभिहितम् मात्यन्तिकम् च काम्यम् दुःखैकबीजम् क्षणलवविरसम् तच्चिकीर्षन्ति मन्दाः। ब्रह्मैवात्यन्तिकम् यत् निरतिशयसुखस्यास्पदम् संश्रयन्ते तत्त्वज्ञास्तच्च काठोपनिषदभिहितम् षड्विधायाञ्च वल्याः। आत्माम्बोधेस्तरङ्गोऽस्म्यहमिति गमने भावयन्नासनस्थः संवित्सूत्रानुविद्धः मणिरहमिति वास्मीन्द्रियार्थप्रतीतौ। दृष्टोऽस्म्यात्मावलोकात् इति शयनविधौ मग्न आनन्दसिन्धौ अन्तर्निष्ठो मुमुक्षुः सकल तनुभृताम् योनयत्येवमायुः। वैराजव्यष्टिरूपम् जगदखिलमिदम् नामरूपात्मकम् स्यात् अन्तस्थप्राणमुख्यात् प्रचलति च पुनर्वेत्ति सर्वान् पदार्थान्। नायम् कर्ता न भोक्ता सवितृवदिति यो ज्ञानविज्ञानपूर्णः साक्षादित्थम् विजानन् व्यवहरति परात्मानुसन्धानपूर्वम्। So in the previous verse, just whatever we rendered now, Nayam karta nabhokta savitruvaditiyo jnana vijnana purnaha Sakshad itham vijanan vyavaharati paratmanu sandhana purvam. So vyavaharati basically means, so he engages himself with the world. So any engagement with the world is called a vyavahara. It can be verbal transaction, it can be physical actions. So all of them are referred to as vyavahara. So this person, yaha jnana vijnana purnaha saha evam vijanan vyavaharati. So this is what the verse says. Evam vijanan. So with this perception, so he engages himself with the world. And Shankara says, Paratmanusandhana Purvam. Okay. So Anusandhana Purvam means, so something which is going at the back of his mind. Okay. So we may be doing various activities, but there is some other thing which is at the back of our mind, and therefore this engagement. Okay. So it happens, people may be talking, their mind may be engaged with the talking, but still the car will be going. So it is just going. You understand? So initially when you start bicycling, so all the attention will be there in putting the handbar and so on. But then you can keep doing that, it will just go on. Okay, so the mind can engage in certain other things, but you can still have transaction with the world. This jnana vijnana purvam, so I was trying to tell you in the last class that jnana is something which can be referred to as simply bookish knowledge. But this jnana, so they don't generally take it that way. In fact, there is a nice definition in Aparoksha Anubhuti. How does this jnana arise? He says, Notpadyate vinajnanam vicharena anya sadhanaihi. Anya sadhanaihi vicharena vina. Okay, without doing vichara, this jnana does not arise. So he gives the example, yatha padartha bhanam hi prakashena vina kvachit. Padartha bhanam means, suppose you want to see something, then obviously the light has to be there. Prakashena vina, so without the light, as the sight cannot take place of any entity, so too jnana does not arise without the churning process that is necessary. Okay. So this jnana that he refers to is obviously, so samshayadi rahitam jnanam. Okay. So sphutam jnanam vimalam jnanam. Okay. So that is something which we have to first ensure. So jnana purnaha. But then there can be absolute clarity in knowledge, but it need not come to action, issue out into action. So vijnana purnaha. So for this person, what happens is, so there is a certain interaction which has to necessarily take place, but this person has shielded himself with Atmajnana so that it doesn't perturb him. Absolutely no connection. In fact, this state is described as in various Shrutis. So in one Shruti, Yatratvasya sarvamatmiva bhut tatkena kampashyet katkena kanjighret tatkena kamvijaniyat. This is how the Shruti goes. Yatratvasya sarvamatmiva bhut. Now this is a state which is being described by the Shruti from the viewpoint of Jnani. Okay. So from the viewpoint of Jnani, so how can he see? Yatratvasya sarvam atmeva bhut. Okay. Tat kena kampashyet, kena kamjighret. So if everything is Atman, then where is the question of experiencing something by him that this is good, this is bad, this is to be loved, this is to be hated, etc. None of these things will be there. Okay, so this is a state of jnani. So in fact, there was a very interesting question at the end of one of the previous classes. I think last class maybe this Anuradha was asking. So I was just trying to tell you, when we read the scriptures, we have to keep these two things in mind. One is the state in which sometimes the Shruti will talk about how it is viewed by a jnani, and all these vyavaharas, these shastra vyavaharas, etc., has to do with people like us, so ajnanis. Okay, so those who have not reached that state. So there is an interesting statement, so which is made even by Shankaracharya in certain places. So he will say that this, in fact, we have this prashna, vapushascha poshakam kim, in Prashnottara Ratna Malika. He will say prarabdham. But the same Shankara elsewhere, so he may say, so that this prarabdha, see, this is a very interesting thing that we should keep in mind. So, tattvajnanodayadurtvam prarabdham naiva vidyate dehadinam asatyatvat yatha swapnam prabodhataha. So, this is what Shankara says. So, tattvajnana udayat urdhvam means, so once you go to this state, jnana vijnana purnaha, as it was stated in this verse, then prarabdham naiva vidyate dehadinam asatyatvat yatha swapnam prabodhataha. So this is a different drishti. So drishti of a jnani. So from that viewpoint, in fact it is from that viewpoint, so even the entire Dasha Shloki has to be perceived. Na shasta, na shastram, na shishyo, na shiksha, na chatvam, na chaha. Na chayam prapanchaha. So this is from the viewpoint of the one who has excelled in his anubhava. Okay? So not mere shastra jnana, vijnana purva, anubhuti. So it is from that viewpoint. But from the viewpoint of others, so all these things do exist. Shastra exists. In fact, in the Shloki namata pitava. So this is all something which has to be understood from the viewpoint of jnani. Yatratvasya sarvam atmiva bhut. Tat kena kampashyet, tat kena chanjikre. Whereas from the viewpoint of others, so all of them are to be understood. In fact, Shankara would explain. So this, some people may have this kind of a problem in trying to perceive these two things. So therefore, for normal people, so all these things are to be taken as satya. Okay. So prarabdha. So sometimes one speaks from that level. So it is then, I mean, this, in fact, this is something which is connected to a much larger question. So not with reference to Vedanta alone, with reference to even sciences. So in fact, I think in the last class Anuradha was asking about, when I was trying to explain this Prashasyasya Shraha and so on. So her question was, is Shraha, Suvaujas and Ammaujas, etc. all invented by people, or is it something which has to be taken as something which exists? So strictly speaking, all these tools are human creations for understanding the function. Okay, these are all called upayas. There is a beautiful passage which I thought I will just share with, because this audience is a very enlightened audience. So there is a beautiful passage from the commentary of a text called Aryabhatiya by Bhaskara. Okay, so there, while speaking about different tools that have been invented by astronomers in order to calculate the planetary positions, these various mathematical tools, that is true of even science, okay, in general. So he just says, उच्च नीच मध्यम परिधिः इत्येवमादि स्फुटगति साधनोपायभूतानाम् उपायानाम् नैव नियमोक्तिः विद्यते, केवलं तु उपेयसाधकाः उपायाः। तस्मादियं सर्वा प्रक्रिया असत्या यया ग्रहाणां स्फुटगतिः साध्यते। Okay, so what does he say? So the entire tool, machinery that has been invented by us in order to calculate the position of the planet is all asatya. Yaya sphutagatihi sadhyate. Evancha, in fact this is where the punch is. Evancha paramartha jignasubhihi asatyopayena satyam pratipadyate. Okay? Satyam pratipadyate. Tathahi bhishajaha उत्पलनालादिषु वेदादीन् अभ्यस्यन्ते नापिताः पिठरादिषु मुण्डनादीन् यज्ञशास्त्रविदः शुष्केष्ट्या यज्ञादीनि and now comes this Vyakarana शाब्दिकाः प्रकृतिप्रत्ययविकार आगमवर्णलोपव्यत्ययादिभिः शब्दान् प्रतिजानते. So he gives examples from all disciplines. So Shabdan Pratijanati. So this Prakriti, Pratyaya, etc. So these are all things which have been construed by the grammarian who tries to explain the formation of the words. Words are there in the real world and the formation is something which is being explained by a grammarian or a linguist. Therefore, there is nothing like unique Vyakarana. So in Ramayana we have Navavyakarana Panditaha is a usage, and even today there is something called Saraswata Vyakarana. There are about at least 5-6 Vyakaranas are available. So the Prakriya may be different, but the final word is one and the same. So it is that which is important, that is Upeya, and the tools that you create are all Upayas. In fact, this is how we need to understand every Shastra. Evam atrapi madhyama mandocha shighrocha parithi kasthajya dash 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 samvatsaraha grahanam sphutagatim pratijanate. Finally he says, tasmat upayeshu asatyeshu satya pratipadana pareshu nachodhyamasti. This is a very important thing that people should understand and appreciate. In all our efforts towards science or technology, so these are all tools that have been created by us. Definitely these tools have a very important role to play. But there is no uniqueness with reference to the tools. Okay? So as long as it can explain the end, okay? So whatever is the purport, then it serves the purpose. So that is how we need to understand. So this whether it is discipline of astronomy or discipline of mathematics or discipline of Vedanta Shastra or Nyaya Shastra or any other Shastra for that matter. Okay, so with this introduction, let me move on. So there were a couple of questions, so I thought I will just answer them. So before I start the new one. Okay. Now we move on to verse 14. Nairvedyam jnanagarbham
Nairvedyam jnanagarbham Nairvedyam jnanagarbham
Vividham abhihitam Vividham abhihitam Tatra vairagyamadyam
Tatra vairagyamadyam
Prayoho dukhavalokat Bhavati griha suhrit Putra vittaishanadehe
पुत्रवित्तैषणादेः
अन्यज्ञानोपदेशात्
अन्यज्ञानोपदेशात्
यदुदितविषये वान्तवद्धेयता स्यात्
वान्तवद्धेयता स्यात्
प्रव्रज्यापि द्विधा स्यात्
प्रव्रज्यापि द्विधा स्यात् नियमितमनसाम्
देहतो गेहतश्च Okay, so there is a interesting statement that he makes. Vairagya is of two types. Okay, so this is what this verse talks about. Nairvedyam jnanagarbham dvividham abhihitam. So it has been stated to be of two types. What has been stated? Vairagya. This Vairagya is of two types. And he gives the names as Nairvedyam Jnanagarbham. This is a description of the Vairagya. The Vairagya that is generated out of Nirveda and the Vairagya that is generated out of Jnana. Okay? So Jnanagarbham Nairvedyam iti Vairagyam Dvividham Abhihitam. So this is how people speak of Vairagyam, classify Vairagya into two types. Then he moves on further and says Adyam. So Adyam means Nairvedyam. Okay, that Ir has to be properly pronounced, otherwise it will become Naivedyam. Nairvedyam. Okay, so Nirvedasya Bhavaha. Nairvedyam. So how does it arise? Prayaha dukkhavalokat bhavati. Generally, this Vairagya gets generated by perceiving the dukkha. Dukkhavalokat bhavati. Where? Griha suhrit putra vittaishanadehe. Various things have been listed. Griha, suhrit, putra, vitta, etc. etc. Okay, Yeshana. Yeshanadehe, this first kind of Vairagya gets generated. In fact, there is an interesting verse in Mahabharata. It's a verse. So, no, it's not Mahabharata. It's just, I think, Subhashita. Some Subhashita. There is a verse. See, Smashanante. Puranante. Prasavante cha yad bhavet. Okay. Smashanante. So when some separation happens to most dear one, okay, in the family. So then, so there is a Vairagya which gets generated. What is this thing? So I have lost. Okay. And Smashanante, and particularly when you go and burn the body. In fact, the body which has been so fondled by you is now put into firewood. Okay. Smashanante and Puranante at the end of Puranas also. And he also gives the example Prasavante cha yad bhavet. At the end of Prasava, so nowadays I don't know, but definitely. So there is a Prasava Vedana is something which is a standard example. Prasavante cha yad bhavet. Whatever Vairagya that gets generated. Vairagyam tadridham chet syat. If that Vairagya which momentarily comes to you, okay, so if that were to be lodged permanently with you, okay, so then So not many will be suffering in this world. Okay. Bhuvi baddhaha sudurlabhaha. So this is an interesting verse. Now the vairagya that he is talking about in the second quarter of this verse, dukkhavalokat bhavati griha suhrit putta vittaishanadehe. So yeshana, in fact yeshana means a deep urge for something. Okay. So yeshana. So yeshanaha, see yeshana is understood as prerana also. Prerana is a certain urge to get something. Okay. So this is prerana, a drive within to want to achieve something, to get a crave. So this is called yeshana. In fact yeshanaha also means lohamaya bana. Okay. It is another meaning, so which really hits you. Understand? So it is in that sense. Anyway, so here he says putra, griha, suhrit, vitta. So these are the things which actually drive us. Okay. In fact, we have this mantra in Brihadaranyakam. Tametam vedanuvachanena brahmana vividishanti. No, that is not that. Tamatmanam viditva brahmanah putreshanayascha vittaishanayascha lokaishanayascha vyuthaya atha bhikshacharyan charanti yahyeva putreshana sa vittaishana ya vittaishana sa lokaishana. This is in Brihadaranyaka Tritiya. So Acharya has the same phrases here. See, there we have so putreshana, vittaishana, lokaishana. And the loka is basically griha and suhrit. What else? So that is what is loka. Okay. So that same thing, so he says. So these are yeshanas which try to bind people. Okay. So the dukkha is, so sometimes the interaction with any of them can go wrong anytime. Okay. Sometimes it is good, many a times it is not good. And when it is not good, yes, certain sense of dispassion that gets generated. Okay, so that is what is called Nairvedyam. In fact, the word Nirvedaha is a beautiful usage which Acharya has used here to express this kind of a Vairagya. So Nirvedaha also means apamana, disrespect. So when you have this disrespect, what is the purpose of living? Right? In fact, that is why, so disrespect. See, Teenal suttapun ullarum arade navinal suttavadu. Okay. So when somebody really abuses you, disrespects you, so then the kind of feeling that you have, why do I live? Okay, what is the point? Etc. So many feelings get arise. So that is what he is referring to as dukkhavalokat bhavati, but it is momentary. That is where the problem is. This vairagya will be only momentary. Therefore, he is describing this as Nairvedyam. What is the second kind of vairagya? Anyat jnanopadeshat. The other vairagya gets generated through jnanopadesha. Jnanopadesha is the knowledge that we derive from scriptures. Jnanopadeshat yad udita vishaye. Udita vishaye means with the same things. There can't be any other thing, right? Yad udita vishaye. And what is the feeling that gets now? Okay, occupied, lodged into the mind. Vantavat heyata syat. So this vairagyam is described as Vantavat heyata. There is a natural feeling to get away from that. Okay? So this is what he is talking about. So Vantavat heyata is a beautiful example. Suppose something comes out of your body. Okay? Whatever has gone into stomach once again comes out of the mouth. So if it spills somewhere, so you just, even if it is a small bit somewhere in your cloth, so you would not like to have it. You want to immediately get rid of it. Okay? So there is nothing which is going to happen if something, some kakasya vishtha, if it is there. in some part of the cloth, but we would not like to have it, right? So that is what it is. Heyata means to get rid of it. Okay, this is a natural feeling not to get associated with it. So a certain natural feeling not to be associated. So this gets generated through jnana. So that is what he is trying to say. Anyat jnanopadeshat yed udita vishaye. So there is absolutely no hatred here, but it is a certain state of mind which makes you feel that this association is not going to lead me anywhere. I would like to get associated. This is what Yajnavalkya was also saying. Okay, so I am going to leave, so etc. So that is what it is. Yadudita vishaye vantavat heyata syat pravrajyapi dvidha syat. Pravrajya means this sannyasa. So this is also of two types. Pravrajyapi dvidha syat. Niyamita manasam. So niyamita manasam means those who have absolute control over their mind. Okay. Dehato gehatasche. So gehataha means from the house. Dehataha means from the body. So this person gets separated from house, which means he does not have any more possessive attitude towards any of the things that were there in the house. Okay? So whether it is human being or it is other material beings, so he does not have any attitude of possessiveness. So that is gehataha sannyasa. Okay? Even that is not done nowadays. So people who take sannyasa, so it is not done. I mean, it is gehataha also, it is not fully done. And what Acharya here is talking about the second level of sannyasa is dehataha. So dehataha means as a true sannyasi. So that is why he is saying niyamita manasam. It is very important. Okay. So niyamita manasam. So only people who have absolute control over their mind. So they can take sannyasa. So otherwise, I mean, this attitude will be oscillating and that never will lead you to anywhere. So that is why dehataha is the second level of sannyasa. As he spoke about this vairagya at two levels, so too sannyasa. Dehataha means as a true sannyasi will not have any possessive attitude towards anything where he was dwelling, so too this vairagi, this sannyasi, so will think that this deha is something which is not belonging to me. He does not have any possessive attitude even with reference to deha. So this is the second level. So I was dwelling there in that house. So now I may be dwelling here, but this has nothing to do with you. So this is the second level. Dehataha sanyasaha. So Nairvedyam. Now let us read this verse. Nairvedyam jnanagarbham vividham abhihitam tatra vairagyamadyam prayo dukhavalokat bhavati griha suhrit putravittaishanadehe अन्यज्ञानोपदेशात् यदुदितविषये वान्तवद्धेयता स्यात् प्रव्रज्यापि द्विधा स्यात् नियमितमनसां देहतो गेहदश्च. See, this dukkhavalokad bhavati is something which has been beautifully portrayed by Bhartrhari. So as I was reading, this verse flashed my mind. See, when we deal with dukkhavalokad bhavati means, so when something which is undesirable, which is happening, so then always there is a certain dispassion that gets, why is it that I am working here? Why is it that I have to deal with this person? Why did I take this student as my PhD student? So all kinds of things may arise. Okay. So now here See this, in fact he says, it is a beautiful verse, Khalalapas sodhaha kathamapi tadaradhanaparaihi nigrihyantarvashpam hasitamapi shunyena manasa कृतो वित्तस्तंभ प्रतिहत धिया मंजलिरपि त्वमाशे मोघाशे किमपरमतो नर्तयसि माम्. It's a very interesting thing. See, you may be expected to be in a meeting that may not have any productive discussion, but still it may go up to 3 hours, and the person who is chairing, he may be saying one and the same thing in very many ways. So it may be really bothering you, but you cannot open your mouth. Okay? Khalalapa sodhaha. Why? Kathamapi tadaradhana paraihi. Tadaradhana means, so you have to somehow please that fellow. Okay? This happens in many places. Okay? So this tadaradhana paraihi, all that I have been listening to, wasting all my time. Kathamapi tadaradhana paraihi. Then he says, Nigrihyantar bashpam. Somehow controlling the bashpa which is about to come out of my ears. I have been showing as if I have been enjoying. Okay? Kathamapi nigrihyantar bashpam hasitamapi shunyena manasa. See, shunyena manasa hasitamapi, I show as if I am enjoying his talk. Okay? Katham shunyena manasa. Then, krito vittastambha pratihata dhiyam anjalirapi. A beautiful usage. See, this various things may breed arrogance. So this vitta is one of the major factors. So this poet describes vittastambha pratihata dhiyam. Is a very beautiful usage. This fellow's intellect discrimination has been hit strongly by the post in the form of vitta. Okay, vitta stambhena pratihata dhihi. Okay, even to those fellows I have been offering my venerations. Okay, vitta stambha pratihata dhiyam anjalirapi. Okay, so then he finally says, Tomashe moghashe Kimaparamato nartayasi mam. So this, why I am saying this is, he is just saying dukkhavalokat. So these are the instances in which we undergo dukkha. In fact, I distinctly remember, say 25-30 years back, a couple of fellows, I think 3 fellows I remember, 30 years back roughly. So in Mylapur. So these people came and all of them said, so we are all returned from America. And these fellows, then I said, why did you leave the job? So they said, we want to study Veda, Vedanta, all that they were saying. And I was taking some classes also. In one of the classes, they said this, and I distinctly remember that expression. See, I asked, so why did you come? So then they said, all of them. So we were all treated like boots there. So therefore, so we just left. So there was a vairagya. And dukkhavalokat bhavati. So dukkhavalokat, when there is a serious injury to the self-respect, so then some vairagya gets generated. Okay? So that is what he is saying. But if it arises through jnana, it is permanently with you. So that is what is jnana garbham. So jnana garbham means filled with jnana. The other meaning that one can get is that which is generated out of jnana. Okay, there are 2 ways in which you can understand the word. Jnanena garbhitam, jnana garbhitam. Okay. So jnanam garbhaha means the womb from which it came. Okay. So this is another way to understand it. So this is how he presents vairagya. Okay. The other vairagya, how does it get generated? Through study of this literature, serious contemplation. So is it worth pursuing that I am pursuing, or should I do something else? So all these things, if it gets culminated at one point, it becomes a serious vairagya. So there are other terms also which are used in the scripture. They use apara vairagya and para vairagya. Okay. In fact, there is a beautiful verse, Kakasya vishtavad asahya buddhihi Bhogyeshu sa Tivra Virakti Rishyate. Tivra Virakti or Paravirakti. Tivra Virakti Rishyate. So, what is the secret? How do I get this Vairagyam? Virakti Tivratva Nidanamapuhu. Bhogyeshu Doshe Kshaname Vasantaha. So, Bhogyeshu Doshe Kshanam. So, once you start doing that, Doshe Kshanam means so a certain view by which you see the negatives of possessing them. So, if you always think of positives of possessing them, then there is no question of getting Vairagya. But if you start thinking the negatives, everything will have positives and negatives. So, what is it that you want to have is something which has to be decided by you. Okay, so that is what I think powerfully is conveyed. There are two levels of Vairagya. So each one would have experienced moments, but that is Apara Vairagya. Smashanante, Puranante, Prasavante and so on. Okay, now let us move to the next verse. Yah kaschit saukhya hetoho.
Yah kaschit saukhya hetoho. Yah kaschit saukhya hetoho.
Trijagati yatate.
Trijagati yatate. Trijagati yatate.
Naiva dukkhasya hetoho.
Naiva dukkhasya hetoho. Naiva dukkhasya hetoho.
Dehe hanta tadutha.
Dehe hanta tadutha. Dehe hanta tadutha.
Svavishaya mamata cheti.
Svavishaya mamata cheti. Svavishaya mamata cheti.
Dukkhaspade dve.
Dukkhaspade dve. Dukkhaspade dve.
Janam rogabhighatadyanubhavati.
Janam rogabhighatadyanubhavati. Janam rogabhighatadyanubhavati.
Yato nityadehatma buddhihi.
Yato nityadehatma buddhihi. Yato nityadehatma buddhihi.
Bharyaha putrarthanashe.
Bharya putrarthanashe. Bharya putrarthanashe.
Vipadamata parameti.
Vipadamatha paramedi. Vipadamatha paramedi.
Naratinashe.
Naratinashe. Naratinashe.
So this verse brilliantly brings out what is the source of dukkha for you ultimately. So having carefully analyzed, he presents that in this world the source of dukkha is only twofold. And he says it is ahanta and mamata. So that is all. There cannot be any other thing which can be a source of dukkha for you. So this is nicely presented with a beautiful simile. So we will try to understand that. The first part of the verse basically makes a thesis. So it is a general understanding. Yah kaschit saukhya hetoho trijagati yatate. It is a statement of fact. Trijagati in all the three worlds. Okay. So if you think of there could be some other universe. So whatever be that universe, in that universe also saukhya hetoho yatate. If there is any activity on this person's part, so it is primarily for happiness. Okay. Saukhya hetoho yatate. So one will be willing to undergo some suffering for the sake of a larger happiness, but happiness is the ultimate aim. Why people are struggling for. Yah kaschit saukhya hetoho trijagati yatate. So now India is undergoing a huge economic recession. Okay, for whatever reason. So saukhya hetoho. People have to be first of all living. Okay. So this can be managed later, etc., etc. So all that. Yes, kaschit saukhya hetu. See, so wearing this mask and going is also very difficult. Saukhya hetu. Okay. Saukhya hetu. Saukhya hetu. Trijagati yatate. Okay. You try to undergo certain kinds of suffering, keeping a larger happiness in mind. Naiva dukkhasya hetoho. So obviously, okay, no activity is meant for dukkha. Okay, so some activity you can ask. So why are you undergoing this difficulty? So why are you struggling for 4 years preparing for JEE? After 4 years spending corridors, okay, spending time in the corridors of IIT, I may be getting bigger things. So therefore, I am willing to put 4 years of trouble. Okay. So all this. So this is larger thing. Dukkhasya hetoho. Not for the sake of dukkha, but for the sake of larger sukha. Okay. Now he says, Dehe hanta tadutha svavishaya mamata cheti dukkhaspade dve. Aspada means the locus. The locus of dukkha is Dehe ahanta tadutha svavishaya mamata. Okay, so this is to be understood. This ahanta, so generally this ahanta is taken as some arrogance. So I have achieved so much, etc., etc. So generally based on the accomplishments of this person, intellectual accomplishments. It need not necessarily be intellectual accomplishments. Dhana can be a source of ahanta. So yourself being born in a big lineage, so Nehruvian family, that can be a source of ahanta. There can be sources of ahanta. But a wise person turns all these sources of ahantas into source of humility. Okay, that is the wise person's job. Okay, if it is dhana, so I am blessed. So if it is kula, it is not my choice. I was just put into this kula. Okay. So similarly, so the power. So suppose I am able to analyze things very quickly. It is something which has been given to me. So the sources of arrogance are turned into sources of humility by a wise man. Now this ahanta that he is referring to here, okay, so in the earlier example what I was trying to tell you was, these people who do not have that kind of a mature understanding, they feel that I have done this, etc. And therefore a source of arrogance, it turns into source of arrogance. But the ahanta should be dropped at a much deeper level. He says, even this body is not something which has been picked up by me, and much less the mind. So where is the source of ahanta? Okay. So dehe hanta. So the arrogance which is the source of lot of trouble can be easily handled. So arrogance leads you to dukkha. Vinaya leads you to sukha. Okay. So that is why they say vidyadadati vinayam vinayadyati patratam. Patrata means respectability in society. The respectability in society, vinayadyati. Patratvat dhanamapnoti dhanat dharmam tataha sukham. Okay. So this is how it says. In fact, there is another beautiful verse regarding patrata. Navidyaya kevalaya tapasavapi patrata. I think it is in one of the smritis. It is a beautiful thing. You should understand this. Navidyaya kevalaya tapasavapi patrata yatra vrittam ime chobhe. So tadhi patrasya patrata. Something like that. Okay. See, navidyaya kevalaya. So merely by knowledge, not by merely perceiving. Okay, perceiving or perseverance, etc. The ability to perceive very quickly. Okay. So all these things are tapasa. So you have a lot of perseverance and resilience by which you can show. But these are things by which you may gain some respectability. But true respectability is through vitta, along with the vritta. Vritta means character. Navidyaya kevalaya tapasavapi patrata yatra vrittam ime chobhe. So, tadhi patrasya patrata. Something like that. Okay? So, this vrittam, see, so vrittam, when they say, it is absence of arrogance. So, the sense that I am the achiever and claiming everything bombastically like people do in USA. So, that is not something which is desirable. Okay, claiming. So this dehe hanta tadutha svavishaya mamata. So tadutha means, so all this patenting business is all this. I have done this and therefore I have to gain money out of it. So, nonsense. Okay. Huge industry on this. So, tadutha svavishaya mamata, this mamatvam. So, mamatvam, I don't know. So, knowledge is meant for sharing. Knowledge is for the benefit of society. Where is the question of ownership? It is given to you. Tadutha svavishaya mamata cheti. Forget about all this. So, even he says, dehe hanta first. Tadutha svavishaya mamata. Svavishaya is all other things. So this belongs to me, this belongs to me, that belongs to me. So with reference to material things, with reference to intellectual things. So these are primarily the sources of unhappiness. Dehe hanta tadutha svavishaya mamata cheti dukkhaspade dvehe. So now Acharya tries to explain with a simile. Janan rogabhighatadyanubhavati yato nityadehatma buddhihi. So here in the third quarter, you can either split as anitya dehatma buddhihi or nitya dehatma buddhihi. Both ways are okay. So rogabhighatadyanubhavati, both ways one may be able to explain this verse. Rogabhighatadyanubhavati yato nityadehatma buddhihi. So I will explain that. So if you just take anityadehatma buddhihi as patha, so in the second quarter of the verse he was basically trying to tell you that it is because you are not able to drop this ahanta and mamata, so you land into trouble. Now he is explaining this through a nice simile. In the fourth quarter, bharya putrarthanashe vipadam atha parameti. So because you have ahanta and mamata, so if someone who is so dear to you falls sick or passes away, so you experience lot of agony. It is because ahanta and mamata. On the other hand, arati nashe, if you have been able to distance that person as we are distancing, so distancing that person, arati, you will try to always distance far off. Arati means shatru. So arati nashe, so if he dies, then you may rejoice, you need not rejoice, but definitely you don't undergo pain. Okay? So arati nashe dukkham nanubhuyate. So you don't experience dukkha. Why? Because there is no ahanta or mamata with reference to him. So wherever you have this ahanta and mamata, so if there is something which happens to that entity, so then you are pained. If ahanta and mamata are dropped, so then it is completely gone. So that is what he is trying to explain. Janan rogadhighatadi anubhavati. Very simple. In fact, let me just tell you, I am reminded of an interesting verse. So if somebody tries to make some slighting remark, or Munjapal, see his face, so he see his dress, So any comment that is made of this type, so it immediately irritates you, right? So this is what abhighata. Abhighata can be physical, it can be through words. Okay, abhighata is basically a hit. Okay. So this ahanta mamata, if you feel that you are someone who is to be respected there, and if you are not respected, your ahanta is hurt, and therefore you get into trouble. Okay, because you have abhimana about your intellect. So I am so and so. I am occupying this position. I am supposed to have it treated like this. All these kinds of things. So if the ahanta and mamata is not there, then there is no problem. Whether you are respected, you are not respected. Even if somebody abuses. There is an interesting verse. In fact, it's a very interesting thing. So since you are Sanskrit lovers, I'll tell you. So somebody, say if you call him, so Pashu, so then you will feel really hurt. Dog, donkey, suppose somebody says. See, there is an interesting verse. Kim gavi gotvam utagavi gotvam yedi gavi gotvam nahi mayi gotvam agavi cha gotvam yedi bhavadishtam. Then so yatha mayi gotvam tatha tvai, something like that is the fourth quarter. Okay, so somebody called the other fellow, you are like a cow, rishabha, whatever. So then his fellow had a very interesting dialogue with him. Is gotvam in me or gotvam in the cow? Gotvam means cowness. So if it is there only in cow, then it is not in me. Okay? If it is in me also, which is different from cow, then that cowness is also in you, and therefore there is no reason for me to get perturbed. Kim gavi gotvam uta gavi gotvam yedi gavi gotvam nahi mayi gotvam agavicha gotvam yedi bhavadishtam. So then that gotvam is there in you as well as him. So this is how there are different ways in which one can handle this ahanta, mamata, this hurts, etc. You will be hurt only to the extent you allow yourself to be hurt. So that is the message. Okay, this ahanta and mamata are the sources of hurt. If you drop it, then you are a sukha swarup. So that is what this verse primarily tries to tell you. Yah kaschit, let us read this. Yah kaschit saukhya hetoho trijagati yatate nahiva dukkhasya hetoho dehe hanta tadutha svavishaya mamata cheti dukkhaspade dve janan rogaabhighataadyanubhavati yato nityadehatma buddhihi bharya putrarthanashe vipadamattha parameti narati nashe. So anitya deheshu atma buddhihi. That is what you have to understand. Okay? Athava, so if you want to say, so nityam dehe atma buddhi. So whichever way you want to say, you can say that. Okay? But anitya dehe to atma buddhi is much better. Okay. So I think we will stop the class. So we are interrupted for about 10 minutes by the electricity. Now that 10 minutes are over now. So we will stop and then we can discuss for a short while. So if some questions are. Om Sarve Sukhina Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet.